So I want to use this opportunity, obviously, for some feedback for myself running the fishbowl. I'm curious to see what suggestions you have for me about the fishbowl for Patrick and I.
Okay,
I open the floor to you.
Again, for me, it was a good opportunity to kind of look at what I did as a fishbowl and what you did as a fishbowl, so it helps me with that. As far as what you did with Patrick goes, I think the feedback was very positive. It was put in a positive way. A bit rapid fire.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
You packed a lot into a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay. And you kind of were talking to him quite a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is I mean, my idea of doing this, and I'm not sure if that was your intention, is to kind of have a conversation with him. You know, I know you had that towards the end, and maybe that's the appropriate place to have it. You know, but you know, for my style of doing it, I would have just said, okay, let me slow down a little bit, got right to the core action, and just said, hey, listen, the lesson was great overall, because obviously it was. It's just, you know, there's certain tweaks I thought that might make it a little bit.
Okay. So do you think by talking too much, I steered him away in a way, or do you just think I asked him too many questions?
I think he ended up where you wanted him to end up, and he was open to the feedback. So I
agree.
think that is
agree.
a strength of the conversation.
Okay.
I think you gave a lot of examples
Yeah.
of you had this and you had this and you had this and you. I don't know if it was repetitive or you kept going through the papers. And I think one or two examples would have been sufficient to prove that he had it.
Yeah.
Because he's familiar with the lesson, he created the lesson.
Yeah.
So you could just point out one or two areas where he did need it, and then move on. Focus more on the feedback portion.
Okay. So talk to me about. I did obviously bring up his core actions,
which should be the focus.
3D. So I didn't feel like 3D really. It just wasn't appropriate for my conversation.
Nope.
I really wanted to focus on 2B. Do you feel as though that was a good decision? 2, do you think at the end of our debrief session that he understood where I was coming from when we talk about expecting evidence? And
I think he was clear. I think he knows his next step, and like he said, it's something he can go back and implement on his own, and he'll reach out, and he's somebody who I think will reach out. Like he's not just saying that to get out of the room.
The other thing is you did mention his other core action too.
Yeah.
You know, his third core action.
Yeah.
You know, 3D or whatever it was. You did mention it to him, and you said, okay, I think you did fine there. You know, but we want to focus on 2B here, which was important.
Yeah.
And if we're giving actionable small feedback, it's okay to focus on one. Correct. You know, unless sometimes they're linked, but in this case, this is harder to measure. Like his 3D is more difficult to measure, and the task we saw today in class clearly aligns with 2B.
Yeah.
So it's okay to focus just on that.
And my goal and my purpose was I wanted to get him one solid piece of actionable feedback that he can implement immediately, rather than barreling him over with multiple things.
And I think if you go to next class, you're going to see a tweak.
Yeah.
The thing is, Tom, him walking out of here, I think he had a concrete next step that, as Sarah is saying, he's going to implement right away, because he knows that little tweak that you spoke to him about, that feedback that you gave him, will improve, what the kids are doing and the lesson itself.
Great. Was the feedback appropriate? I mean, obviously tweaking the graphic organizer and just reminding him to remind himself, to remind the students that we are always referring back to text.
I think those were two concrete examples of how to meet the major feedback, which was keep it grounded in text.
Yeah.
So having a more specific outline for students so that they have the evidence to refer to, and then a reminder to himself to probe kids to do it, is like twofold to meet the main objective of the feedback. So I think that was, and he left knowing that. So I think that was strong.
What do you think my next step should be?
The next step, based on what you did here?
With Patrick.
Yeah. I would say, I would ask him, maybe tomorrow or, whenever he's back at school, say, how did it go? Did you make those small changes? What do you think? Get, his feedback.
Like have the afternoon go as you wrapped up the rest of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I think your next step in doing feedback conversations is scale back the talking just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get more of a two-way.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Great. Well, thank you guys for being honest with me. I will certainly take these changes, and I will try to talk less. And thank you.
Okay,
Great. Thank you.
Go team.
Go team.